There is a massive untapped opportunity for real estate agents on social media if you apply what I'm about to share with you in this video. So in this video, we're going to talk about social media hacks for realtors. And if you're like most real estate agents, most of your listings usually come from your sphere of influence and also from your referrals. These are the primary sources for listings for most real estate agents. And if we summarize it, these listings are coming from relationships, people that know you, people that like you, people that trust you. Now, ultimately, they did a study with this, according to National Association of Realtors. So they did a study on this, and they have pure data to back this up. So almost 2/3 of people reported using a listing agent that they had worked with before, or that was personally referred to them. So 2/3, that's 60 to 70%. Most sellers also say that they had given a referral for their listing agent since selling their home, and a whopping quarter of sellings surveyed said that they had recommended their listing agent 4 or more times since selling their home. Now, we have done a study on this ourselves. We've talked to thousands of real estate agents, reviewed their profiles, seen the strategies behind the scene during the last 7 years, and how most real estate agents usually use social media is by posting just sold, just listed, pictures of market statistics, articles, automated templated content, and then also constantly asking people to contact them. This is kind of like the meta right now when real estate agents are using social media. This is what 90% of real estate agents usually kind of like use. If you go to Realtor's social media profile, this is like what you're going to see with a very high probability. Now, seeing social media is in a different light from after watching this video. I want you to see social media as an extension of your sphere of influence. Now, when it comes down to leveraging your social media to generate listings from this lens, it's ultimately key that you understand this one simple psychological concept, which is parasocial relationships. So parasocial relationships is a psychological phenomenon where viewers come to consider online personalities as their friends, despite having no real-world interactions with them. So viewers, in this case the homeowners, they need to develop feelings of intimacy, friendship, trust, and feelings of being directly connected to persona, meaning you, much as they are connected to the real-life close friends. And they actually did a study on this. So there's a Liebers and Strom, they actually looked at the brains of the people, and they can see here clearly that these sort of brain patterns actually developed as they were looking at this from communication research trends. Now, there are some practical examples I want to share with you. When you think of people like Oprah, or an example, you can look at people like Grant Cardone, or maybe you're familiar with Ryan Serhant as an example. These are all real-life examples of people that have built audiences of millions of people that kind of like tend to know them. When we look at Grant Cardone, I'm sure you know of the 10X concept, or I'm sure you know of the Uncle G thing, right? There's all these things that are kind of associated with this persona, and we kind of see this person as somebody we know, even though most likely most of you have never met this person in person. Also, same thing with Oprah. Obviously with Oprah, you know that she's giving away the cars, all these sorts of different things that are associated to her. Now, obviously there's all these random people, right, that you may see on your Facebook feed or in your stories, or you may see them on YouTube, right, that you constantly just see over and over again, and you kind of feel like, okay, this is the person, I kind of know who this person is. Now, traditional way of building relationships has been this one-on-one interaction in real estate, right? So you may hold an open house, you may give a cold call, you may do a little door knock, right? And this is very traditional way of building these relationships, whether it's you, there's homeowners, and then you guys build that relationship one-on-one. And this is how most real estate agents have usually built up their sphere of influences, or of course, naturally through high school, through university, by just living in an area for a very long time. Now, parasocial relationships is very different. So there's you, but there's also a second self. So there's somebody that's not you, that's a second self that these local homeowners see. And instead of having just one homeowner, we can see that in this image, there's dozens and dozens and dozens and thousands of really of them. And actually, when they see you, they don't see you, they see a second self of you. And this is all about what parasocial relationships are about. It's not about building relationships one-on-one. It is about building these relationships one-to-many using social media. Now, like we discussed, everybody has a second self, and it's basically a virtual projection of your personality and persona. So you can build a persona in a way that sparks up these relationships on social media and makes thousands of local homeowners starting to see you in a very similar way these homeowners have seen you before one-on-one. ultimately it comes out to getting thousands of local homeowners kind of like seeing you in a similar light as they already see you one-to-one. But the benefit is that it's one to many. So you have thousands of local homeowners seeing you in that light. Now, it's key that we do this correctly. So if you don't do this correctly, if you are just like all the other real estate agents, obviously this brand, this second self, doesn't really get built up to the level or in a way that it needs to be for you to be able to generate these listings. And ultimately, you just end up being forgotten and just in the masses of the ocean. So the issue for most real estate agents, and the reason why the second self doesn't really generate them anything, is that very few realtors are actually communicating in a way on social media that sparks these parasocial relationships phenomena, which is required for you to start generating these referrals, for you to start generating these new listing clients. So if people don't feel like they trust you, almost like they consider you to be their friends, despite even never meeting you or maybe you never having a conversation with you, you're really leaving 99% of results on the table when it comes down to your social media marketing. So everybody that is getting tons of listings on social media, you probably know the real estate agent, maybe in your brokerage or maybe in your local area, that just keeps popping on social media. It's getting all these buyers, it's getting all these sellers, getting all these referrals organically, right? All these people are getting these results, but how they're doing this without just anything else, right? How they're getting all these listings while most real estate agents are not getting this. And really the way they are doing this is by using this exact psychology we're going to cover right here. So for most real estate agents, here's a visual representation of what this looks like. So the second self, what homeowners see the realtor as, is something like this. Maybe there's a picture of a house, it's for sale, there's a price, maybe it is a kind of a picture like this where it says curious what your home may be worth, or maybe it's a local market update like this where you see some numbers on the screen and maybe a small image of the realtor at the bottom of the picture. Now, second self to build parasocial relationships look very different. So as I saw here, there's almost nothing about the real estate agent itself, right? It's all about the houses, all about the prices, or about the market updates. But when we look at the second self that you actually need to build in order to spark up these relationships, and we need to highlight the fact that we're building relationships, right, it looks very different. So here's one of our clients, Zach Coops. He's a real estate agent in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And you can see that these pictures look very different. We have the real estate agent here in the picture playing a game here, right? Playing a shuffleboard game. Here we have a real estate agent just having a drink with his wife. And here we have a real estate agent's client happy with the house that they just did a transaction on. Now, this client that you see right here had never leveraged social media before starting to work with us, but he had grown his business by 50% just by leveraging social media in this exact way. And ultimately, he's living in a pretty small area, so sometimes when he goes going to the shop, he's told me that a lot of times people recognize him. They say, oh, this is the person that I've seen on social media. Oh, you're Zach. I know who you are, right? So the key and the first thing to understand here when it comes down to real estate marketing and real estate content on social media, don't just make it about real estate. Don't just talk about the market updates. Don't just talk about the home values. Bring yourself, bring your personality to it, bring your values to it, bring your lifestyle to it, and then allow that second self to getting built up to a level where it already is in your personal life. Because the people that are giving you those referrals, people that are doing business with you right now, if you're doing it from your sphere of influence, they know your personal side. They know that you have gone to certain college, maybe you have certain interests, right? They know those things, and that's why that relationship has built up. And if you're only professional on your social media with the local homeowner audience that is in your market, that really never allows it to build up to a level where it needs to be at when it comes down to those parasocial relationships. So it never really sparks if you're only purely real estate, if you're only purely article based. So let's talk about the practical steps for how to build up these parasocial relationships. And there's about 5 steps you want to take in order to be able to do this. So the first is creating your content yourself. Like we discussed before, your voice, your personality, your appearance, your gestures, your values, your beliefs, all of these things must come true in your content. Without self-disclosure, these parasocial relationships can't form. It's a little bit like if you imagine just seeing a person and they're just very serious, right? Yes, real estate, yes, numbers, and they're like that, right? You're never able to really build up a personal relationship with them. But like we discussed, most listings, they come from people that have that relationship. Most listings, just according to the pure data, come from people that already know you, that have already had that experience working with you, or somebody else has referred that has that experience. So creating content yourself is key. Don't automate this. Don't use a tool. Don't use AI, right? Being a content yourself, create original, unique content. Now, in addition to this, second step from this is to pick a platform to focus on. So at the beginning, if you're not experienced with social media, you want to rather go deep than wide. So a lot of the times you see people that are trying to master all of these platforms at the same time, trying to do Facebook, trying to do YouTube, they're trying to do Instagram Reels, trying to do TikTok, they're trying to do email marketing, they're trying to do this marketing, that marketing, right? And ultimately, if you're doing that, you're just spreading yourself too thin. Instead, pick one or two main platforms you're going to be primarily focusing on based on your target market. And it's key when I highlight this based on your target market because every real estate agent, every market is unique. If you're trying to attract corporate clients, you're trying to attract people that are very much in the business scene, right? You're probably going to focus more on LinkedIn. Or if you want to attract just regular homeowners in a small market area, right? You probably want to focus on Facebook. If you're trying to attract, let's say in an area like Austin, you're trying to attract buyers, that is a market that's very much growing, right? Well, maybe you want to use, think a channel like YouTube, where a lot of the people are ultimately searching for your content. So create a mix of text and image-based content and video content and target and create this content according to the audience you want to attract. Now, third step from this is don't make your marketing look like marketing. Make your posts look and feel like they're native to the platform. Like we discussed earlier, content like Canva images or automated content is just so out of place that it doesn't feel natural on the platform. So whenever you're creating your marketing, make sure you're creating it natively to the platform. So it's actually content that's purposely created for that exact platform. Now, step number 4 is leveraging psychology. So in addition to building your parasocial relationships, you need to demonstrate to people that you are a credible expert when it comes down to your real estate who delivers amazing client results. And you want to play into cognitive biases of the human mind to create a perception of you as a top choice, top real estate agent, top tier expert realtor for the people that are in your audience. Things like social proof, you want to demonstrate your client results, client stories, mere exposure effect, association bias, and there's also 22 other cognitive biases. But just by leveraging psychology, instead of just having real estate agent information out there, you're going to be able to build yourself that personal brand, and you're going to be able to build yourself that situation where all these local homeowners get to know you. Now, lastly, if this is you, you've tried to use social media before, but you haven't gotten results consistently from it, or you feel uncertain about what to post, how to post it, where to post it, how to do this in a way that actually reaches a lot of local homeowners, and how to communicate the right things in the right way to get listing appointments, well, click the link in the description to book a free social media audit, and we're going to show you exactly what you're doing wrong or where you're going wrong, what you need to change or add to start getting listing clients from social media using these parasocial relationships. So if you'd like that, all you have to do, go to the description under this video, click on that, schedule a call, it's 100% free, no strings attached. See you there.